Hi everyone, welcome to Kids Art. So here today we're going to make a teddy bear astronaut. And on this Kids Art video, we're going to use certain products. One is by Crayola and it's a paint set. It's got 8 paints in it. You can use more if you want, but it's a watercolor paint set. And it opens up like this. And there's a paintbrush with it. If you have your own, that's fine. We're going to use one of 2 Crayola crayons, or you can use a pencil if you like. But I'm going to use a Crayola pencil to mark out the outlines of the teddy bear astronaut, because it'll help with the watercolors retain the paint within the different sections of the paint that I make. So you can use black or like a type of blue, or any other one you have, which is more of a darker color. Then we're going to use watercolor paper. I have a 9 by 12 inch pad, or you can use an 8.5 by 11 inch pad, and whatever works for you. I'm going to take out a page from this pad, and then we're going to begin. And another thing that you might need is water in a container, and also this is the water in a container that I have, and also bounty paper towel or something to blot your paintbrush on. So maybe even how should I say, like a paper, just a towel. If that doesn't work for you, then bounty paper towel is good. So we're going to start out by drawing the head of the teddy bear. And to do that, I'm going to make a neck like so. And then I'm going to make a head with ears. And then the rest of the head. And I'm going to outline the inner ear of the teddy bear. And I'm going to make 2 big eyes like this, one on each side. And I'm going to make some pupils. Mine are going to be black. You can make them blue if you want, or green. And then I'm going to make a nose, a big nose, like this. And I'm going to make a mouth, like that, with the chin. And if you like, you can make more details on the teddy bear, such as some cheeks, which I'm going to do. And if you want, some eyebrows, which I'm going to put as well. Now, we need to make the astronaut teddy bear in a type of circular hood helmet. So we're going to make an outline around the teddy bear, around the teddy bear's head. And then for the body, I'm going to make a short body, a neck, and then a little body like this. You don't have to make the body if you don't want to, but for mine, I'm going to put one there. And to make the teddy bear have a name, you can put either a name in a rectangle, but for mine, I'm going to write NASA. Like the space agency NASA, because he's an astronaut. Now that we've outlined most of the teddy bear, we're also going to put a little neck, which I didn't finish, and we can embellish a little bit. I'm going to switch pencil, crayon, and I'm going to put a star here, for instance. We're not going to color these in with Crayola. We're going to color these in with watercolors in a moment. On the other side, I'm going to put a ring around a planet like this. And you can embellish by putting as many stars as you want all along the paper. I'm going to put a few more on the bottom, on the side, to the right, to the left. And that's it for my outline. Now I'm gonna put my pencils away and we're gonna paint this little guy in. I'm gonna take my paintbrush out of my set, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna dip my paintbrush in the water, and I'm going to activate my paints. So I'm gonna take my water and my paintbrush and put some water into each paint tray so that I activate my paints. Now you don't have to do this for all of them, but I'm just doing this to demonstrate to you how you can do it. And once you've activated the paints that you want to use, I'm just doing all of them again, because that way they're ready to go. And you let this sit a little bit. You let the water sit for a little while. And then once it's been sitting, you can paint with the paint that you activated. So I use my blue, my green, I might use some red, some orange, maybe even some yellow. Now I'm gonna let this sit and get back to you in a moment. Now that my paint has sat with the water a little bit, I'm going to start and begin painting out with the watercolors my teddy bear astronaut. So this is the part where you have to decide where you want to put your colors. Now I think I'm going to make the body in either blue or green. Probably green, because I'm going to use the blue for the background of the sky. So we're going to start with the inner part of the teddy bear. And I know I want to make the cheeks red. So I'm going to take a little bit of red and apply it to the cheeks. And again, the reason why we use crayons is because the watercolors won't seep through to the other side of the crayon very easily. The crayon is made of oils, so it kind of holds the paint in place. I'm going to add a little bit more red to this one, maybe a little more, to make it a little darker. And then for the nose, I'm going to make his nose in orange. So I'm going to take some orange and put some orange on his nose. This is a cute little teddy bear, little guy. You can make any character as an astronaut, really. You can make a bunny, you can make a turtle, a dog, or a cat. Even imagine a space cat. Then I'm going to make the teddy bear a little darker, I'm going to use some brown. I'm not going to make it too dark. Just a light brown will do. And I'm going to paint around the head of the teddy bear to make sure that the brown is in all the parts of the head of the teddy bear. And we're going to finish this little guy in a moment, and then we'll move on to the rest of the painting. But first, we have to finish what we started here, and we're going to finish painting the teddy's head in a brown and make it look as nice as possible. Now you can use the brush that comes with your paint set, or you can use a different one, preferably one that'll help you paint out like a round paintbrush, not a flat one, and not a fan brush, for instance, but something with a rounded little point to it. That'll help you work the paint in more easily. If it didn't come with a paintbrush, you could always buy them online. And now we have the brown almost done here. So now we're going to do the ear here. And we're going to make the body of the teddy bear in green, like I said. We're going to go all the way up to the neck here and paint really nicely this little teddy, his body. I'm going to add more water to the paints. Now, if you're on a table that you don't want to mess up, you could always put another piece of paper of Bounty behind the paper that you're working on, you're painting on. That way you don't mess up your table. Or you could get a cloth and put it underneath, a type of cloth to protect your table. But we're doing just fine right here. Now this green is very nice. It's like a grass green. It's a very nice color, pretty color. Now this guy's coming along real fine. How's yours coming along? I hope you're keeping up. Did you put some stars in the sky and some planets? If you want a larger paper, you can use a larger paper as well. If this is too small for you and you like working big. Or you can draw even a smaller paper than 8.5 by 11. Now let me finish the ears. I'm using some orange on the ears. And I'm going to use some orange in the eyebrows too. That way he comes off looking really nice. All right. Now for the sky, we'll leave that for last, but we're going to use some yellow for the helmet of the astronaut. That way it's more transparent and we can see through it. And we'll leave the background for last. That way we don't mess anything up. We're going to add more water to the paint to dilute it and be able to spread the paint more easily. It's okay if you go a little bit over the lines. That's no harm, no foul. It's totally understandable if you go over past the lines of your painting. It's meant to be a little bit abstract. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now, we're going to use the blue on the background, but we're not going to go over the stars because we're going to leave the stars and the planet for last. You can deepen your colors as well. If you have black in your paint set, you can use the black. I might use a little bit of black to make my sky a bit darker, which is what I'm doing now. I am going to put the paper towel on the edges, just so that I don't mess up my table. And I'm going to use a little bit of black. And a little bit of blue on the edges. My stars aren't perfect, but that's okay. I like them to be a little bit abstract. And by abstract, I mean not perfect. I'm going to move this down a little bit. And Now we're going to use some more blue on here, on the edges. A little bit of black, mix it in. Now I'm going to flip this around a little bit to this side so that I can paint the other side. I'm going to add a little bit of black, a little bit of blue. This is nice watercolor paper. It allows the paint to spread. That's why it's called watercolor paper. It absorbs the paint really well. And then I'm going to use a little bit more black down here. And I'm going to do the stars last. And for the stars, I'm going to make them in a different color, maybe a lighter color. So here we go. Let me do the corners here. In blue. And then we're going to add a little bit more black over here. And excuse the noise. So we're going to add a little bit more blue to the corners here. And some black. We'll do the stars last. We're almost done with the outline of the sky. And we're going to do the top here. Very top. And then we're going to do this part. And then now for the actual stars, I'm going to rinse my brush. And I think I'm going to do them in yellow. So I'm going to add a little bit of yellow onto this one here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to this one over here. And then maybe this one. It's not perfect, but that's okay. And then a little bit on this one. I'm going to add a little bit of orange on one. And then a little bit of orange on this one, which is meant to be it's meant to be a planet with a little ring around it. Now I'm going to let this dry. But here you have it. A nice little guy that we painted together. And there's one more thing that I want to add. I'm going to add some orange to the NASA sign so that it stands out. There you have it. A nice teddy bear drawing, which we finished together, made by you and me.